This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All in my home, all in my home. I'm gonna let it shine, ooh, all in my home. I'm gonna let it shine, all in my home. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Ooh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
All right. That's a way to start the morning. It's going to be a lovely day. How could it not with this beautiful fall weather? And we can shine our light as we're here. So thank you. And I really want to remark, as Charlie was mouthing the words to, it's going to be a beautiful day or beautiful day. So lovely day. So that was kind of cool. Welcome everyone today. Good morning. I also want to especially welcome to any visitors that we might have today. And if you are new to us and a visitor, we do have this little blue card or sheet in front of you in the seat pocket. So go ahead and fill out your impressions if you're comfortable in your information. And we're happy that you're here joining us today. So we also have prayer requests in the pocket there, and feel free when we do the collection toward the end of the service to just stick those in the bag and we'll take care of it. So thank you so much for being here. If you want to know about anything that's happening here at Unity, I invite you to check out our newsletter and the calendar that our greeters handed out. Calendar looks like something like this, so it gives you a whole view of the month of everything going on here at Unity. You can also check out our social media online, our newsletter that you can get a copy of. Hopefully you get that every Friday. I find it incredibly valuable. Lots of good info in there, and also our Facebook and Instagram information. Our theme for October is transformed by the renewing of your mind. So please join me in our affirmation for this morning. The Christ within me is my inexhaustible source of renewal. I think anew, live anew, and shine with ever fresh life. I now would like to invite the congregation to stand if they're comfortable, and we will sing our welcome song, I Start My Day with Love.
Well, good morning. What y'all say? This is standing time. Y'all got out of practice. I go away for 3 weeks and y'all forget what we doing. So good morning. So let's begin by releasing the teens and the tweens to Augustine and Michael down in the Katie room. And then the rest of our children will go with Tegan, and they will have their youth ed time. Got everyone? All right. So there's, I usually give a whole spiel about how I see the God in you, or let's see the God in each other. But I'm going to say that for the past 3 weeks, God has been with me and each one of you. My fridge overflowing with food. Y'all stopping by, texting Kathy. Is it okay? Is she okay for visits? I have seen God in action. Told myself I wasn't going to cry. I have seen God in action. The Christ in you is in the process and continuing to heal the Christ within me. And so today, I bow deeply and acknowledge the Christ in each one of you. And may we now move about the cabin and do that with each other. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. I almost went to my youth pastor you to get you quiet, but y'all quiet down. So let's do that. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. And if you can hear me, clap 3 times. All right, that's how I used to get the kids. All right. And so as we prepare to step into this sacred time, let's just take a moment to take a breath in. And then release. In the quiet of this new morning, let us pause in gratitude for this new day. Let us give thanks for this sacred community gathered in this space, a congregation of love, light, and limitless potential. This sanctuary, this building, upstairs and downstairs, is holy ground, a living field of divine energy where hearts are lifted, minds are renewed, and souls remember their oneness with all life. As we stand in these trying times, personally, politically, and globally, we turn inward to the source within. We remember that hope is not a wish. It is a power. It is faith awakening, understanding deepening, will aligning, imagination envisioning, and zeal igniting. These sacred powers are alive in us now, renewing our spirits and restoring our sense of possibility. We gently hold space for all who are grieving and for those who seek healing in body, mind, and heart. May they feel the warmth of this community as I have, compassion, and the steady rhythm of divine life flowing through them. Today we bless this sacred space, this unity of Bloomington, with continued growth numerically, spiritually, and financially. May this ministry shine its light and be a beacon of love and wisdom and renewal in our world. We open our hearts, we renew our minds, and so it is.
Spirit.
Today's inspirational reading is from the Science of Mind magazine. There is not much in life that is harder than change, and yet change must happen before anything new can be rebirthed. Change is necessary for us to grow and evolve. Birth of anything requires the death of something else. We have to let go of things for something new to take its place, and yet we resist letting go. When we get scared, we tend to grab tightly, refusing to release what we have and what we are comfortable with. We resist change because it is uncomfortable and unknown. If you resist change, I ask you to play with the concept of change as the movement of life. If we aren't changing, we are inert. God creates and expresses through us as us. Our job is to allow that flow to happen. When we resist allowing change because we are uncomfortable or we are scared, we cannot fulfill our purpose as conduits of creation. Own the fact that you are unique. You express and create beautifully and differently. Every one of us is needed to create as only each of us can. I now invite Ron up for a song.
Everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose,
bruise, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven.
What a beautiful rendition. Thank you, Phyllis, and the music team. And Ron, thank you so much. Let's applaud them again. Thank you. I like that turning on turn, turn, turn. That was good, too. Good, too. Hi, my name is Gertrude, said the lady next to him on the plane. It's so nice to meet you. I'm flying to New York for my grandson's 3rd birthday. I am so excited. I remember when he was just born, and now he's already 3. It's really hard to believe. He is the most adorable thing you have ever seen. You know what? Hold on. I think I got a picture of him. Let me look at my... Yes, just gaze upon him. Isn't he adorable? Do you see that little dimple on his cheek? Simply adorable. I could stare at his picture all day. Oh, mine, you should hear him on the phone. He's just the cutest. He says to me in his cutest voice, "Hi, Grandma." And it gets me all teary-eyed. After what seemed like 2 hours for the poor man sitting next to her, Gertrude seemed to realize that perhaps she was talking too much. You know, I feel terrible. I'm just talking and talking and talking without letting you get a word in edgewise. Tell me, what do you think of my grandson? Oh, those grandmothers and grandparents. The book for our foundation this month and my message today is Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth, who is an amazing unity minister. He has made his transition, but if you Google him, you'll find like 8,000 books, and just prolific in helping people understand. He wrote a book that's about this thin that talks about unity. It's so simple. What we believe, how we present ourselves, and how we interact with other people. And so discover the power within you, because he talks about the power of renewal. That will be our focus for this month. And then our sacred text for today comes from Romans 12:2. And do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I always say little secrets are right there in the Bible, but people don't know. But here it is right here saying if you want to be transformed, not join the church, not give us all your money, not say some little prayer, get your catechism, renewing. Transformation begins by the renewing of our mind. And so allegedly, fall has arrived. I say allegedly because all the leaves are still, I'm like, what is going on? Even when I was driving back from Indy, it's like, you're supposed to be changing colors, but we're going to go by the calendar, and it's fall. And the beautiful things that fall teaches us, we talked about this last year, that the trees don't cling to their leaves by saying, well, I've had these since spring. Instead, it lets them go, and not before turning a beautiful crimson, gold, or orange. In this release, they remind us that letting go can be beautiful. Fall is the sermon for Romans 12:2. Be ye transformed by releasing and renewing your mind. Eric Butterworth reminds us in this book, Discover the Power Within You, that the creative life force of spirit is always moving within us. Our work is not to make renewal happen, it's to allow it to happen. And so this morning I want to share 3 movements. Renewal begins with release. Renewal unfolds when you recognize it's already there, and then renewal bears fruit in response. But Eric Butterworth reminds us, life is not something to be gotten. It is a flowing, a moving, a renewing process. You don't make it happen, you let it happen. And in some ways that seems like a very kind of, woo-woo thought, but how many of you remember being sperm and egg and you said, I'm gonna make myself a human? No, it just flowed, right? I mean, that's the simplest thing. Or when you plant something, you're not like, you're gonna grow, right? We have to do our part and then allow the flow to happen. That I think there is that American concept that, I'm making things happen. Okay, not very often. When Lily was a little girl, I told her, we're gonna go to the store because I need to get some meat and some milk. I said, that comes from animals. She goes, nope, that comes from the store. It's like, no, there's a process prior to the store, right? That there's a flow in nature that we may miss, but it still happens. And then just as the trees remind us by releasing their leaves, we too must release thoughts and habits and burdens that no longer serve us. We talked about that as we began the process of prosperity, and then Gail decided to redirect me. But in November, we'll come back to it. But even Catherine Ponder, remember our first message together was making room, removing blocks. What is in the way of your prosperity? That, you get that out of the way, and then it can spring up. Even in the book talked about by Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass at Making Money. She also made that same concept. What's in your mind that's blocking? What needs to be renewed, but it's stagnating? Or you won't even look at it. So it couldn't even come under your intention to grow or evolve. And Eric Butterworth reminds us, the creative life force, we have to make room for it. The one thing about spirit or this divinity within ourselves is that it's not rude. If you don't make room for it, it's not going to come barging in. It's not like me. I was going to come barging in your house, right? But this life of spirit is about allowing, about making room, about noticing where it's already at around you, and then renewing and growing and flowing. I mean, how would life be if we all just stayed 9 months? Right? We'd just be rolling. Can kids even at 9 months? Right. We grew. And was there pain involved in that? Yes. And did things change? Yes. And we still grow and renew and evolve. That's the flow of life. And that is the invitation that we're being invited to. Part of unity is that we have affirmations and we have denials. And so I'm going to hit you up with some affirmations. But I thought, let me share a denial. So a denial is, again, sort of knocking down that thought or that way of thinking that is in the way of moving forward. So here's a denial. I deny the hold of stagnation and weariness. That when we get to that place where we need to move and we're like, nope, I'm afraid, let me just leave this stuff as it is, you can say, no, I deny the hold of stagnation and weariness. And this concept about being open to the changing seasons, the great philosopher Rumi, try to accept the changing seasons of your heart, even as you've always accepted the changing seasons that pass over your fields. No one standing at the farm saying, no, stop growing. No harvesting. No, right? None of us are doing that. We understand that that's that flow, and yet in our own lives, we want to block things. The amazing monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, gives a very beautiful view. Because of impermanence, everything is possible. If we allow things to change, it means anything can happen. It's limitless. And that's the invitation of renewal. When we release, we prepare the ground for something new. All right, I told you I had an affirmation for you. So just take a deep breath in with me and out. I'll take my next slide, please. And just let these words ruminate. I release what no longer serves me. Like the trees, I let go with grace, making room for Spirit's new life within me. Letting go with grace. Not, trying to pull it out of your hands. Let's release it with joy. And it's not easy, right? I'm in a whole new journey I had to release. Was it easy? No. But here I am. And so we too can step into these new ways by allowing all things to go and making room for things to come in a new way. So renewal unfolds in recognition. Butterworth says you are not becoming spiritual, you already are spiritual. You're not going to get your life, you are life expressing. And that's again like, well, when I do these things, then I'm going to be perfect. You're already perfect. Well, if I acted like this, then I would be loved. No, you're already loved. You're already worthy of love. If we could step into that space of I'm good, just the way that I am, all is well. Right? This isn't about denying things, but it's beginning with, I'm not trying to change something. I'm going to be the presence of that change. I'm going to make room for the change. I'm going to recognize the change, and I'm going to usher it in, as, and through me. It's about recognizing that the very things we want to be expressed are already within our reach. What is blinding us? What is the walls we have built to those things? So renewal is not waiting for something outside of us, right? Even the trees, I didn't see someone outside saying, hey, it's time for you to change. Right? Somehow the trees just know. And so renewal is about recognizing what's already within us, the Christ presence, that indwelling spirit, and affirming the renewing life of the vine is always flowing freely within us. That invitation from Romans 12:2 to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. New thought right there in the Bible, the renewing of our mind. When we think anew, we live anew. And when you think the same old way, I think that's part of the challenge when we look at people and say, well, how can they believe that? Or why are they acting like that? Or how could they support that person? Because they haven't changed their thinking. It's easy to stay exactly where, it is easy to stay exactly where you are. Easy. But we're not the road. This is not the road or the group for easy folks. Right? I had a whole conversation that I realized like I'm an extrovert in a world of introverts. Right? But you guys do good. I'm like, yeah, we're doing this. And I say, show up at this thing, please. And you're like, yeah, okay. Here we go. But it's all good. It's all good. That when we think anew, and we've got to look at our thinking. I mean, we think about, Kathy won't mind me telling this, will you, Kathy? She's got this man that's sweet on her. But you know why he doesn't like? There you go. But you know why he doesn't move on her? Because she's too independent. Yeah, she's too independent. Now, what kind of 1800s, 1700s, 1200 type of thinking is that? What man wouldn't want to, in my mind, I'm not a man, yay. But what man wouldn't want a woman that can take care of herself? I would rather have someone that wants me for me, not because they need me to provide them a house and their groceries and feed them. And no, I was like, no. I'm with you because I want to be. Right? But that old stagnated thinking, I'm like, buddy, let me tell you, Kathy can make an old-fashioned and a Manhattan that will make you see the Lord after drinking that. I'm telling you, she can make a drink. And she can cook. Her house is clean. She's fabulous. But this dumb man will never see that because he is stuck in stagnated thinking. Say, well, I'm not like that, are you? Right? What is the pastor's one big beef in the church? I want to do something new. What is the response? Is that in the budget? I don't know because I'm not operating in the budget, right? But again, we change our thinking. The way this center grew and evolved, you had to change your thinking. My friend Jack, who was here last week, he oversaw a minister search, 9 months, almost like they gave birth. That church is a hot mess right now because they didn't change their mind. They were looking for this person outside of them, but y'all did the work so that I could walk in here and look like, yeah, look how good I'm looking, yeah, but you guys all did the work. I'm standing on that, right? You had to change your mind about what does it mean to have a spiritual leader? What does it mean to have a community? What does it mean to be in community? How do we affect each other? What does it mean for us? That whole thinking has us at this place right now. You have to renew the way you think. And renewing unfolds when you stop trying to get a life and awaken to the truth that you are already living your best life. And then how do we see the response to renewal? I think this, I've heard this at Agape. They say it a lot in Centers for Spiritual Living, so I was glad to see this in the writings of Eric Butterworth. The whole universe is on your side. Life is for you, not against you. I think so many people feel like, well, part of it's our training. God's out to get you. He's right. Even Santa's out to get you, right? He's making a list and checking it twice, right? It's like, on December 22nd, I lost my temper, and so all my Christmas gifts aren't coming to me now, right? This kind of idea that some person is watching you, judging you, making a list, they're against you. But what if you knew that the very divinity, I've been watching this documentary about the oceans, and the Pacific Ocean flows, and the Atlantic, and the Indian, and there's coral. There's these, I didn't know, you know how rams do like that? Do you know there's fish that fight that way too? They just boom, and they like bite. It's like, yeah, I wish men were fighting over women like that, right? That's what they're fighting about. But there's this beauty, this amazingness, all this evidence that universe is for us. The oceans, the flowers, the bees, the sky, love. All of those things are for us. And if we could get in that place, we could move forward from there. Jack was very impressed. He says, "Oh, I love your tech booth." I said, "Oh, do you now?" "Yeah. Yeah." He says, "Our church been trying to get one for years." I said, "Oh, we knocked ours out in like a couple weeks." Right now, we know that there was work to that, but we got into the flow. That's why that's there, because we all said we're going to release whatever we thought about how this tech team needs to look, and we're going to make room for this new booth, and boom. This is the evidence of our renewed mind, the evidence of us changing our thinking. Y'all that came late, y'all missed the house band. You'll get to see them again. We had the house band, had Charlie up here. Change the way we do the welcome. Why didn't I do that the first week I was here? Thank you. See, Phyllis is like, yeah, girl, right? Because we had to come to a oneness, an understanding. How are we going to operate? What are we open to? What do we want to see new? And then as that came together, we thought, yes, we can make space for something new. That's renewal bearing fruit. Renewal asks, what will you do with the new life that Spirit is stirring in you? That call to be your best self, that call to release family members. We have a young man in this congregation whose family just doesn't support him. So they're having a celebration. Him and his sweetheart got married, and like no one from his family is going to be there. I said, well, a family member is going to be there. I'm going to be there. He said, I'm your aunt now. I was traumatized that no one from Gail's family participated in her memorial. And then a friend of mine said, didn't you tell me that church was full? I said, yes. He says, her family was there. Here is her family. That's right. As I was leaving from Kathy sent me home. They were coming to pick Gail up from the hospital. When she came to my house, I told her, you're my sister now. You have stood by me in a way. My sister probably doesn't even know that Gail passed away. But Kathy was there. That's family. We got to change our mind about that. You got some folks that are your relatives, And then you have this room full of family. And sometimes that pruning hurts, cutting off. You know, you can have a beautiful, Meredith got a call from me, oh my Lord, help me, the peace, I didn't even do anything, and the peace lily's dying, come over here, please. So she came over and snip, 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 and now the thing is flourishing. Sometimes you gotta let go. Just because those people have the same DNA as you doesn't mean they're your family. Just because this is what you learned since you was a child, it doesn't mean it's where you are right now. And just because we've always been a cute little small community doesn't mean that's how we have to stay. Renewal brings results. All of you being in here is a result of changing your mind, or you'd all be at, I don't know, St. John's Catholic, whatever, Episcopal, this St. Lutheran, I'd be at the AME church. But something in our minds told us there's something better. There's a path of freedom. There's a path of love. There's a path of wholeness. And if you would be willing to renew your thinking and walk a new path, and here we are. I invite you each morning, pause and ask, what am I ready to release? And what am I ready to embrace, right? There's a time to release and a time to embrace. There's that balance. See this affirmation. Take a breath in and out. I am a living expression of renewal. Fresh ideas, strength, and creativity flow through me, and I respond with joy and vitality. Renewal is challenging but simple in the same way. We can release what no longer serves us. Recognize that the very life we are wanting is in us and flowing through us, and that each day is an opportunity to renew. The trees are telling us the wisdom of fall, our inspiration from new thought, and even Master Teacher Jesus showed in many ways as he fought the establishment. When you do a new thing, you make room for new things to come. If you will, I'll take my next slide, Seb. This is our congregational affirmation, and if you are in alignment or in agreement with this, let's say it together. In this season of renewal, I align with the creative force within me. I release what no longer serves me, and I open to Spirit's ever-fresh possibilities. I am transformed by the renewing of my mind. And so it is. You'll join me as we step into this time of meditation, letting the crystal bowl invite us to turn within, to become rhythm, to become flow, to become all that is one, the sound, the oneness of Om, music. As we step into a place of renewal, where can we hear a new sound? Where can we release an old song? Where can we release an old way of saying or being? The crystal ball invites us into wholeness, into oneness. Shall we be bold and step into renewal? And so take these thoughts into the silence. What am I ready to release, and what am I ready to embrace? invite you to take a breath in and out. And remember that you are life flowing in abundance, and that renewal, the opportunity to move, grow, flow, and have your being is upon you and around you at all times. Open your eyes and heart and renew your mind to the possibilities. And so it is.
I'd like to prepare for our offering. Can I invite the greeters to please come up to the front of the room? There are several ways to contribute to Unity of Bloomington. All this information is now on the screen. As the offering bags are passed, you may want to bless the bags and their contents. Just a reminder for those visitors or those with prayer request forms, now would be the time to drop those in the bag as it passes by. Thank you. Wonderful. I'd like to invite our greeters to come to the front, please. And I'd like to invite the congregation to join me in speaking our offering blessing, please. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have and all that I receive. Loving gives, bringing prosperous living, and I give to Unity of Bloomington in gratitude for the rich spiritual good I receive throughout the year. I expect a miracle of God's rich abundance in every area of my life and the life of my spiritual community, and so it is. I'd like to invite Reverend Minnassa to come up. Thank you, greeters.
Well, I just want to thank all of you for participating in my experiment today. I want to thank Jevne, who hosted and was in charge of our Spencer Pride. Let's give her. And look, we're right on time with all our changes. And so thank you again. I'm still at a loss for words to express what's in my heart for all that you have done for me in this challenging time. And so I will come up with the words and say them, but today is not the day. But thank you again. Let's give it up for our house band. Let's thank Charlie for getting us started, funky style. And to Phyllis and our music team, always here. Thank you.
Let's finish up with our prayer for protection. You can stand if you feel comfortable. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, we'll start our closing song.